Yo, yo, it's the Couch Rider Raven. Letting you know, like, man, you ever had one of those today? And just want to let y'all know, like, it's dark out here because I gotta move stuff. I gotta move a truck so I can go take care of some business. But I want to let you know, I'm thinking about you. I'm thinking about the combine. Thinking about all the flashy names that are running through free agency right now. And there's a few that I'm thinking, like, hey, the Ravens should probably take a swing at that guy. The Ravens should probably take a swing at that guy. And I know that we normally don't take swings, but we also don't fire our coaches. And I know how a few of y'all feel about that. Some of y'all celebrating right now. You know who you are. I know who you are. You know who you are. Sitting there celebrating John Harbaugh. It's just it is what it is because this guy's been with us for 18 years. But he's gone. But he's like, you go look at the top 10 plays of the season and you see magic. Absolute magic either by Lamar or by the formations, or by the players. And we got to make some moves to rectify that. Like I said, Eric DeCosta, Steve Bisciotti, they took a chance with firing Harbaugh higher. Now it's time to take another shot. It's time to take another big chance. Let's go get a dog in free agency. Whether it be a wide receiver, whether it be an outside linebacker, I don't care. They know what our needs are. They know what we need. And I'm tired of being this cap responsible type team that's not going out there and doing things that honestly, that the Raiders do, that the Saints do, that the Rams do. They take gambles. And I mentioned examples of good and bad. Risk takers. People that spend $380 million in one offseason or whatever on the cap. And some see results, some don't. The Raiders, they did not see the results they wanted to see. The Patriots, they did. Because they spent this money a couple years ago. And then they started developing guys in the draft. And so you got to sit here and you wonder, like, what is going on? What's up, Lamar? What's up, bro? Man, it's time to be aggressive in the offseason. You're absolutely right. Because it just don't make any sense to sit here and be cap responsible for the future when there may not be a future. And what I'm saying is, listen, they got rid of Harbaugh. Who you think is next if this don't work out? They're going to be looking in a totally different direction. And it's not going to be in Mentor's direction. It's not going to be in Mentor's direction. DeCosta and Lamar are next on the docket. Both of them are going to have to show. They're going to have to show. They're going to have to show what's up. They're going to have to show that they're willing to take chances. They're willing to make a lot more happen with the new things that they've been given. I'm not saying either one of them got Harbaugh fired, but what I am saying is that you're going to take some chances. You're going to have to take some significant chances in order to get this thing done. And that goes with taking money that you had reserved for a long time down the road so you can make smart, sound decisions when it comes to picking up players and doing the draft thing or whatever like that. We're not looking for 11 picks in the draft this year. We need 4. We need 4. You hear me? 4 picks. The rest, they probably ain't gonna make the roster anyway. Give us 4 picks. Give me an outside linebacker. Give me a wide receiver. Give me an offensive lineman. And possibly a tight end. You work on those things. Actually, no, sorry. Give me an outside linebacker. Give me a corner. Give me an offensive lineman. And we good. Give me there. You can go get the wide receiver during the offseason. I don't even care. Because George Pickens is sitting out there. We wanted Pickens for years. Is he about blocking business? No. But is he one of those dynamic wide receivers who's probably going to command $28 million? Pay the money. Go get him. There's other guys out there. There's one, Darnell Mooney. He ain't a one, but he is a guy who would stretch the field and is insane and probably get him for cheap. He went from the Bears to the Falcons. He was doing his thing there. Dude is a fantastic wide receiver. He don't get the credit that he deserves. I'm tired of hearing about this Alec Pierce talk. No. Did you get him? Cool. But will he fit with our scheme? Is he rocking what we rocking with? Hollywood Brown, that's a possibility. That's a possibility, bro. I'm with you. Holly could be a Raven. We going on this trip, right quick. I'm taking y'all with me because I need to go put some air in my wife's tire. So we gonna do that, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna chat with you. But it's like Holly, he has great chemistry with Lamar. We know that he has that. And he's not Zay. We know that. But do we need two small guys? Or do we need to go get a big? Are we going to go get the big guy who can be that beast we need? And I'm not disrespecting Rashad Bateman. There's two sides to this. One is Rashad didn't get the targets that he deserved this year. That's because we had guys constantly taking those reps. We had guys like Walker, Tez. Bavori says, why isn't Tyler Linderbaum being franchised? Well, according to Greg Rosenthal, he's saying that his agent does not negotiate the way that he's supposed to negotiate. This guy plays the silent game, and that's some childish type stuff. So, if you childish, and you know it, clap your hands. You know what I'm saying? If you childish, when it comes to negotiations, it's not going to solve anything. It takes two people to come to the table to negotiate. And if Linderbaum's agent is trying to wait until the last second for free agency for the cost of the fold, he will quickly say, go ahead and let him go to free agency, and we will take another prisoner in the draft. I think that's something you got to look at when it comes to making those sound, smart decisions in negotiations. If you do not trust your agent to go to the table saying he's playing a smart game, you need to fire your agent. That is clear as day. This man needs to fire this agent. And I'm going to find out who he is. And I'm going to put it all over blast that this guy should not be hired by any other NFL player, because his hardball tactics, if Greg Rosenthal, who is the ultimate a-hole of negotiations, is saying that this particular guy is not wanting to come to the table, message, there's a reason. Brooke, we went down the D-Hop road. One thing I'm kind of tired of is signing these old blank receivers. What's his face? He old. They were fantastic in their prime. And now they are part of the old bus. And we decide, let's see if they have a little bit left on the tires. Don't you want a wide receiver in their prime? Don't you want a George Pickens at his peak? Couldn't you see something like that? I mean, even Brown right now, I don't want head case on the team, I'll be honest with you. And I know it's a balance. You got to be able to deal with the diva along with the beast of the wide receiver, the diva crazy issues you got to deal with. You got to be able to deal with both of them. And as frustrating as it is, if we sign AJ Brown, we would be getting a significant amount of diva, but a significant amount of production. And that goes with either one of those guys. Let's see here. What is going on? This dude said, no. Hey, Brooke, you know that moderator thing that, I don't pay you to do, but I need you to do? Take a look at that comment and the idiot who left it. So, anyway, what I'm saying is, yeah, we want a chance. I want them to take a crazy shot. And if it is a crazy shot with somebody who's just as hot as they are crazy, take the shot. Shoot it. Shoot the J. Because it's really annoying when you are looking for a big-time playmaker and we don't have one. And Justin Jefferson cannot be sitting there satisfied where he's at. Let's just keep it real. The Minnesota Vikings with J.J. McCarthy, that ain't it. That is not it. because he could be with Lamar Jackson and doing big things. However, the chances of Joe Burrow getting traded over there are pretty high. So when it comes down to it, if Joe Burrow wants out of Cincinnati, Minnesota is probably going to line up everything. They're going to line up the breach truck. They're going to line up the picks. They're going to make it happen to where this guy feels something special. And he comes over there and then he joins Justin Jefferson. That's a deadly combination of the Minnesota, but that's an NFC problem that we don't have to deal with. But honestly, if we could trade for Jet and get him to Baltimore, that would be sweet. I would be all over that like white on rice in a snowstorm with a paper plate. I'm telling you. But, I'm going to have to put y'all on hold for a second because I think I got a cop behind me. And it's just want to make sure that I ain't going to get arrested up in this joint. But, yeah, so what players would you like to see come here? I've heard the Max Crosby talk like a great deal. I heard likely could get a annual average value of $8.8 million. I've heard that. And if he had an average annual value of $8.8 million, Eric DeCosta would have extended that contract in a heartbeat. He'd have did that already. Spotrac is way off on their assumption, on their projection, because likely is going to go to a team that is tight end needy, and he is going to command just as much money as Kyle Pitts, or maybe just underneath. Because Kyle Pitts' contract, when he goes and signs with the Commanders properly, this is going to be a market reset for the tight end position. And I wouldn't even say market reset. I'll say upwards of $18 million is what he's going to get. So you have to look at that as a guide to what you think this guy is going to get, to what you think likely is going to get. Personally, I think if they rolled out a contract of $16 million per year for Isaiah Likely, I think they get him. But I think that comes with a cost. That cost, it would be Tyler Linderbaum. And we saw what happens when you just go out and get willy-nilly linemen. I don't think we go out and get willy-nilly linemen. I do think we are good enough to be deliberate in the draft to get a lineman with good feet, and that isn't just big for nothing, because that's just Dan Phelan. That was a bad coaching decision because they wanted him as a tackle. They realized he had bad feet as a tackle. They shoved him in as a guard. They found out he was worse as a guard, and they still kept him. I don't get that. That's just, that was a Harbaugh thing. That was definitely rewarding job security for bad behavior. So, let's see what y'all got here. So D-Hop caught everything that came his way. Yeah, but how much came his way? How much came his way? They didn't use him as much as they should have. And then if you put him in this scheme again, he's a year older. Is he going to have the same moxie that he had in previous years? Is it going to be fast enough? And I know what we saw in camp, that was a straight line. It was a straight line. I'm talking about acceleration. Long speed, sure, he's probably got that. But acceleration, does he still have what it takes as far as acceleration? Is Nuke going to be a problem like he used to be? Or should we look into a different direction? There's a guy that I think his name is Tyson in the draft. Go look him up. He keeps falling to us in a few mock drafts. And Jordan Tyson, I think. Look him up. Wouldn't you like to see something like that coming straight to us? Eric DeCosta's philosophy has always been, hey, let's see how we can build through the free agency in the second wave of free agency. So once he builds to the second wave of free agency, then he makes sure he has every single hole plugged. It may not be a great player, but it'll be a decent player that he plugs with so that he can go with best player available in the draft. And while we're thinking that he may go left and go, hey, let's go look at that offensive lineman and protect Lamar, he may go right. He might go wide receiver. May take a wing. He's taken a couple swings at wide receiver, right? Toasty said I look like a locked video game character. Well, I appreciate that. You made my night, man. And I'm like smoke off of Mortal Kombat or something, man. It's just black smoke, you know what I'm saying? Like you hear that little sign while you playing the game. Yoo-hoo! Yeah. Anywho, what I'm getting at is DeCosta, he's gonna need to take a chance this time around. And if it's a third swing at a wide receiver, cool. If it's one of the top corners in the draft, the boy from Clemson, I'm all over that. I like that. Because we do need to look at life after your boy, after your husband. I'm sorry, Brooke. We got to look at life after him, after Marlo. I like Marlo. I do. But he going to turn out to be another Brandon Carr if we continue to keep him and get burnt by some of the top tier wide receivers in the league. We can't have that no more. We just can't. We need corners who can keep up. And if Cheeto's still under contract, cool. If Cheeto is not under contract, then we need to either bring in a corner or we need to get another prisoner from the draft. And I think if we took a swing at corner first thing in the draft and signed George Pickens, we could be a dangerous roster again. Go after a couple offensive linemen in the second and third round. I know that's going to hurt us at outside linebacker, but you got to look at what we currently have in-house. If we somehow manage to have some money left over, if Lamar goes and sign that contract, we could probably get Owe back. And we saw how Mentor unlocked Owe. Maybe he can do that here, back in Baltimore. So if we have Mike Green on one side and Owe on the other with this defensive coordinator, maybe our outside linebacker problems may be solved, at least until next year, because we probably don't have to pay them boys. Let's see. Alama says, I love Marlo, but we need someone that don't get burned. Amen. Amen. The dude was a track star in his early 20s. He at the back end now. He's a little long in the tooth. And Brooke, I know you love him. But him and his podcast, they need to go. They need to go, Brooke. I said it first. I said it here. He got to go. I probably didn't say it first because a lot of people just pissed off about that podcast. But he got to go. His mentality is fine with me, but for me, it's what's on the field that matters. And if you getting cooked by premier wide receivers when you're supposed to be the dude that's holding them, message, we want you here. We do. But at the same time, I need a slot receiver that's going to a slot corner that's going to hold it down for us. It's going to do his thing. We can't have all these mistakes being made on the defensive side of the ball, especially in the secondary, when we have a solid secondary. When we had two of the most solid safeties in football. When we had Cheeto doing his thing over there. I mean, Cheeto looked great until that slip. He had to slip. Players mess up from time to time. It just had to be in a crucial moment against Aaron Rodgers. I am still a little salty about that. I want Aaron Rodgers to come out of retirement so we can put him on his back about 3 or 4 times in the game. Make him hurt. Make his last throw his worst throw. Worse than the one that he ended with this past season in the postseason. But Wednesday, we're going to get back at it. Wednesday, I'm going to give you 5 guys. Not burgers and fries. And not 5 guys for you to hang out with or whatever. We're going to have 5 prospects from the combine on the show. Not on the show, but they're not going to be on the show. But 5 prospects that I'm going to give reviews on that are going to slide up the draft boards after a good combine. Y'all gonna be like, man, where are you coming from with this? Trust me, I'll have the formula. I have the recipe. I'm going to sprinkle the sauce on it. I'm going to cook. Trust me. Cameroon hopefully will be there as well. All right. So, thanks for tuning in to the home of original sports perspective, from our couch to yours. This is your couch writer Raven saying, man, I love you. I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy. Give me 2 claps. Fade to black.